Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, joined by Marc Forster and Ahna O'Reilly. We're talking about their new movie, All I See Is You, at the Toronto International Film Festival. Get ready for a great day behind the velvet rope. Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade. All right, Marc and Ahna, congratulations. Really cool concept, really cool movie. We're in Toronto. Does it get any better than this for you guys?
No, it's like always exciting, to share your movie with an audience, especially the Toronto audience. They are the best in the world.
Ahna, he's such an unbelievable director. I mean, the movies this guy's made. Ridiculous, right?
I know. I'm pinching myself ever since I got cast in it. And it's so exciting to be here with Marc, and I've never been to Toronto for the festival before, so it's the first time. It's so great.
All right, so you've made so many different types of movies, everything from Monsters Ball to blockbusters like Quantum of Solace and World War Z. How's making something like this different for you?
It's like, I wanted to do something really, original and something like, about relationships. And, relationships are messed up.
This is true. This is true, really messed up.
Exactly. And I think, that a lot of people, that they sometimes a relationship you want to scream and you don't. And you just kind of keep it inside, and it's like this relationship slowly sort of unfolding, and those people are not, communicating with each other. And I think you have a responsibility when you're in relationships, and I think I was always fascinated by that. So I wanted to dive into that. It's like almost like, you do a yoga pose, and it really hurts, and you want to go further, and you want to keep it. That's what this movie is like.
I've never heard anything described in terms of yoga poses. That is a first, guys. All right. Ahna, tell me about your role in the movie.
I play Blake Lively's sister in the movie. Blake has this surgery and comes with her husband to Barcelona, where I've been living, and we have this experience in Barcelona, both positive and dramatic, going back and revisiting the site of our parents' accident where she lost her sight. And we see this sister relationship, which is another really great relationship in the film, and how all relationships are mysterious and nuanced, and this film looks into that.
But by the way, when she talks about surgery, it's like she's gaining back her sight. It's not some
quick
kind of
summary.
surgery.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No, she's not getting implants or something. No. Quick summary for everybody. The movie is about Blake Lively, who has an accident when she's young, loses her sight, and then has the opportunity to regain her sight. She's in a marriage, and then the marriage is not all that she expected.
Exactly, it gets really messy.
That's a movie. You don't have to see it now. There's a movie. Talk to me about this relationship, because it's fascinating. When you look at it, obviously she's codependent, they're happy, but she doesn't know what the heck's going on, and then she begins to slowly see the world in a different light. What are people going to see when that relationship unravels?
It's like ultimately they're seeing how a woman sort of becomes herself and gains her power, and it's a very strong female protagonist played by Blake, and also obviously how men are, often controlling and try to control the relationship, and we as men are, and like sort of that men and how men and women are different, and how that relationship, explores some of these things, these nuances we don't really want to talk about, or we don't want to address. And often in marriages or relationships, in codependencies, they're often, it's often like under the surface.
You co-wrote the script.
Yeah.
Is it different when you're actually involved in the writing process to then direct it?
Yeah, it's different because you ultimately, part of the writing process is fun because you ultimately are the ultimate storyteller. Like if I take a script from someone else, which I love, it's an interpretation of someone else's story, and I still create my own vision of that story, which I enjoy. But doing it all is definitely a lot of fun. It's a different experience, but you also carry more responsibility, because if people dislike the movie, it's all you. It's all on you. You can't point. It's the writer. The directing is great.
He screwed it up behind the camera and with the pen.
Look at the great directorial work I did here. So anyway, you have no excuses.
You don't just have one movie here, by the way. You're in James Franco's In Dubious Battle as well.
Yes.
So talk to me about, this is your first experience here. How cool is it, A, to have two movies here, and B, what do you think of Toronto so far?
Well, it's amazing to be here, and to be here with two films is so great, and two films that couldn't be more different, and with equally talented and amazing people. So I'm thrilled.
How do you get a cast like this on board? I mean, you got two of the best leads you're going to get. How do you get a cast? You got this terrific actress. How do you get a cast like this on board?
I basically, you send the script out, obviously, and they reacted to the material, and then you meet with them, and then you instant had chemistry with Jason and Blake, and I felt like they both really understood what I was trying to do, what I was going for, and really understood the role. And I think it's key, as a director, especially if you do something outside the box, that you have allies in your actors who really take the risk and really trust you and want to go on that journey with you. And because if not, then we're all doing these kind of movies are getting done less and less. So it's like mostly you're doing big sort of either franchises or sequels or prequels or any of that. So I think making these like independent films these days is trickier than it used to be. So it's like a labor of love. You do something to push, to do something to elevate your own inspiration and do something more risque.
So, little known fact, maybe not little known, it was little known to me. We were talking about, I interviewed Tom Ford last night, absolutely geeking out, and Tom Ford actually dressed James Bond. You made a James Bond movie with Quantum of Solace. And then I find out you're the man who brought Tom Ford into the franchise. You brought up franchises right now. Those types of creative decisions as a director, when do you know something's right? When do you know this is the choice you have to make, maybe battle for? Like, how does it all click for you like that?
It's all, for me, ultimately, it's all instinct. I'm just like, I feel like, if it feels right, either visually or storytelling, or it's all about sensibility and instinct. And that's what I follow. You can always rationalize things, but I don't trust my mind as much as I trust my instincts.
What do you hope people take away from this movie?
I think one thing just about what Marc just said, I hope people have a really unique experience with it. It's a really one-of-a-kind work of art that there aren't films like this. Like you just said, films like this aren't getting made. So I hope people are going in with an open mind to have a really sensory experience. And I hope they just want to absorb it and learn from it and experience it. It's a really beautiful work of art.
It's definitely not the kind of movie where you like want to tick the boxes and want to have this, and this. It's
Right.
like, let's be surprised.
It's a really great concept. I remember when we were looking at the lineup, I'm like, this movie sounds like it's going to be really cool. So congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Enjoy Toronto.